Hi, I'm Russ Jeffers from mobileburn.com, and this week I've been reviewing the new HTC Titan Windows Phone 7 smartphone. It's the latest handset for Windows Phone 7 that HTC have released, and it features a 4.7-inch WVGA display, an 8-megapixel camera around the back, and a 1.5 GHz processor inside with a 1600 mAh battery to power it all. Keep watching for my full review. Okay, so to start off with, let's just check out what's in the box. You can see we've got the phone first up, but we'll take a look at that later. In the box we have got, under here, this wall socket for just charging the phone from your regular power plug. Obviously you can charge it from a laptop or any USB port as well, because it uses the USB cable here, which is regular USB to micro USB. Basically that just plugs straight in the top of this plug here. And then you can just charge from a wall, or of course you can use this as a data cable or a charging cable and connect it to a computer as well. You also get in the box this pair of headphones from HTC, and this is their just sort of standard headphones. As you can see, they're nothing particularly special, not the Beats audio kind or anything. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the HTC Titan all fired up now, and this is the lock screen here. So if we just tap the display, you can see sort of the wallpaper jump, just to let us know that we need to swipe it out of the way to unlock the display. Moving on to the interface, you can see we've got sort of this tiled interface, and then further options in a list over this side as well. Basically you can append any of the items in that list to this main home screen here as a larger tile, and many of the tiles are actually live tiles. You can see some of them moving around. This one, for example, showing various photos that are saved on the phone that I've taken with the camera, as you can see. We've got the Xbox Live one here, and it's got my avatar moving around it and popping up in different places. And you can see on the calendar as well, we've got the next calendar entry shown there on the tile. So it's quite a neat looking interface. You can see also contact images and stuff all populating up there, which is quite nice. And just to simply add another tile, for example, let's go for, where should we go for? Locations. So if we just press and hold there, you see we get this menu come up. And this one doesn't appear to be able to be pinned to start, possibly because it already is, I think. So let's try a different one. Bing Maps, there you go, we can pin that one to the start. So that'll just throw it on the bottom there, and we've got that as an extra tile. And it doesn't seem to be limited at all. You can just keep adding different tiles on. You can even add them for things like web pages or specific contacts. If you've got a contact that you call or message a lot, you could just stick them straight on the home screen there, straight at the beginning, which is quite handy. You also get things like when you get new messages and emails, that'll show up with a little number next to the Hotmail icon or the messaging icon, just to actually tell you how many unread messages are in either of those boxes. So next I'm just going to show you the People application. Just tap on it there, you can see we get the people we've recently spoken to. Shows us all their contact images. You can also flick across just back to the default pane here, which is all people. It just shows my face and my latest status update next to it. And then we've got, basically just in alphabetical order, all of our contacts. And then we can just see we've got these letters here at the beginning of each different letter of the alphabet. We can just hit one of those, and you see it just gives us a list to, like a grid to select from. So if I want to jump, for example, to the letter P, I can just hit P and it'll drop straight down there. More useful if you've got more contacts in than we've got here, but still quite a useful function. You can also search and add new ones just from these soft keys at the bottom of the screen. We've also got What's New, which is basically any social networking updates from Facebook or Twitter, for example. They all show up here in this sort of stream. It's quite neat. And then back to recent again. So it's quite a nice application. Again, it all flows very smoothly, very quick, thanks to the 1.5 GHz processor in the Titan here, and also sort of the pared down basic UI. So we'll move on now to some other bits and pieces. You can see down here I've got the Twitter and Facebook applications loaded on. You've actually got to download those from the Windows Phone 7 Marketplace, because they don't come preloaded, although there is support for both Facebook and Twitter preloaded on the device. It's not sort of a full app, it's just the ability to sort of upload status updates and read other people's updates within the actual Windows Phone 7 UI. You can see in the Marketplace we've got things like applications. We can search by various different criteria here, or just hit the search button and literally type a search. I've also got them, you can view basically just applications, you can view games, or you can view music as well, so you don't have to search everything at once. You can just sort of browse by each different category. And then you get things like this, which is just sort of basically recommended applications by the looks of it. It's a fairly easy system to use. Actually, I'll just quickly download one just to show you. Go in here, let's go for the AccuWeather one then. Install. Just basically allow it to have certain access to bits and pieces of your phone, and then it'll set it off to download. Very, very quick, and you can see at the top now it just says pending. Then we get this little download bar just to show us how much has been downloaded. So very, very easy to use. Oops, just gone into something there. And it shouldn't take very long until, there you go, whizzing up, and then as soon as it's ready, the icon at the side here will just sort of brighten up a bit so you can actually select it. Should happen any moment now. There you go. And that's the application downloaded, installed, and ready to go. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly show you the keyboard on the HTC Titan. Just start a new SMS message here. You can see it's quite a large keyboard, and this enables you to type really quickly, as I demonstrate here. You can see very quick and accurate, and it still it sort of has predictive text as well to fix any mistakes you might make. You can also flip it onto landscape mode if you want a slightly larger keyboard. So it's not really necessary, and the keys aren't that much larger, they're just slightly wider. Weirdly, they didn't decide to use this space on the left here. You still get the bits of status information instead, so it's not full width, which is a bit of a shame, but nevertheless I don't think you'll ever need to use the landscape keyboard because the portrait one is still so large. If you sort of hold certain letters, you get other options for different sort of foreign characters and stuff, which is quite neat. But unfortunately, you don't get any symbols like on most other touchscreen keyboards. You've got to go into a whole separate sort of pane for different symbols, which is a bit of a shame. And then you hit the arrow key and get yet another different page of symbols. So it's quite difficult if you, for example, just want to use a question mark. You've actually got to go into a whole separate screen, because the only characters, the only symbols that are catered for on the main keyboard are just comma and full stop there, which is a bit of a shame. You do, however, get smiley faces preloaded onto that main keyboard, which is quite handy. But again, you've still got to hit that button to get into the smiley faces, which is again an extra tap that you've got to do. Moving back on to the rest of the phone though, which could quickly show you the web browser. It's Internet Explorer 9 mobile, and it's pretty quick to load up with the obviously the Titan's 1.5 GHz processor. You can see we can do things like pinch to zoom and double tap to zoom. As you can see here, one of the limitations of the WVGA display is the text there. It's probably not very easy to show you on video, but it's actually quite jaggy and difficult to read when you're fully zoomed out because of the comparatively low resolution of the display when compared to its size. So it's a bit of a shame that it's not a higher resolution display, and that's one of the areas where it would benefit to have that. I'll just quickly go to let's see if we've got the mobile bone web page. Should be in here somewhere. There it is. Let's quickly load that up. We're on a Wi-Fi connection at the moment, a 50 meg Wi-Fi connection, so you can see it loads up really, really quickly, and it's all very smooth to scroll through as well. There's no lagging at all or anything. You can quickly zoom in and out, but again, as soon as we zoom out to the fully zoomed out view, you lose the clarity and can't actually very easily read any of the text, so you always have to zoom in, which kind of takes away some of the point of having such a large display, which again is quite a shame. You can see we get tabbed browsing on the Internet Explorer 9 browser here, so if we hit tabs we can actually go to another window that we've got open. We can also go and open another window. We can have up to 6 different tabs open at one time, which is quite handy. But again, it's quite a long drawn out process to go through to change between tabs. It's not a case of just selecting the tab up the top. They've actually got to go into a menu, go into the tabs menu, and then select your screen from there, which is a bit of a pain. One thing I do really like about this new browser though is that the address bar is down the bottom here. So when you're using the phone one-handed, obviously with such a large display, especially on the Titan, it would be very difficult to stretch to the top of the screen to actually tap the address bar if it was up there. As is at the bottom, it's a lot easier to reach, especially on this large display.